Darkness still hung over the Pacific Ocean on the early morning of August 6, 1945, but inside the command bridge of the flagship Seagull, the air was thick with tension. Admiral Yamato, in his 50s, his deep-set eyes weary from sleepless nights, pressed binoculars to his face, hopelessly scanning the horizon. The strong sea wind carried away the last vestiges of hope clinging to the faces of the officers and sailors. The fleet was exhausted, fuel levels were critically low, and morale was eroded by gloomy news from the front. "Admiral, no new orders from High Command yet. Constant signal jamming," a young officer reported, his voice filled with anxiety. Yamato lowered his binoculars, his gaze distant. "We've lost contact for too long. That's not good. This silence is more terrifying than gunfire." Suddenly, the communications officer rushed out, his face drained of color, trembling hands clutching a stack of telegrams. "Admiral, urgent, top E."
"Secret from High Command, extremely urgent." Yamato spun around, his expression more grave than ever. He sensed something terrible was about to happen. "Read it."
The communications officer's voice trembled, almost a sob, as he read each word. August the 6th, early morning, a new type of bomb, never before seen. America dropped it on Hiroshima. The command bridge fell silent. Officers looked at each other, stunned and disbelieving. "Never before seen?" Yamato growled, trying to maintain a terrifying composure. "What is it?" Tears began to stream down the communications officer's cheeks as he continued to read. Preliminary report. The entire city, virtually wiped out, a blinding flash, then a giant mushroom cloud. Tens of thousands died instantly, nothing left. Yamato stumbled back a step, his hands gripping the railing until his knuckles turned white. He closed his eyes tightly, then opened them. His gaze now held both fierce determination and unspeakable pain. Unbelievable. Hiroshima. He turned around, his eyes sweeping over each stunned officer. His voice lowered, filled with agony, yet still retaining the dignity of an admiral. "Contact all ships, relay this news to the entire fleet, let everyone know, and prepare for all eventualities. No matter what happens, we are still the Imperial Japanese Navy. Our honor remains. We will not fall." The news of Hiroshima was like a knife plunging into the fleet's heart. The atmosphere on the flagship and all other warships became heavier than ever. Yamato stood on the command bridge, his eyes blurred from lack of sleep and worry. Suddenly a piercing alarm horn tore through the silence. "Report! Multiple red dots on radar. Enemy aircraft detected. Many of them, there, by B-29s, the communications officer screamed. Admiral Yamato's face instantly became intensely strained. "Full fleet, maximum firepower, anti-aircraft readiness," he ordered decisively. The anti-aircraft guns began to roar. Streaks of fire shot into the sky, intercepting the massive B-29s swooping in. From other ships, columns of black smoke began to rise as they took the first hits. Yamato stood firm on the command bridge despite the explosion shaking the entire vessel. "Admiral, escort ship number 3 hit, cruiser number 2, sinking!" an officer yelled, dodging a flying shard of shrapnel. "Damage control, save the men!" "Hold the line, don't retreat!" Yamato roared, but the attack was too fierce. Not just B-29s, but other fighter planes appeared, swooping in like hungry beasts.
Loud explosions reverberated, metal shrieked horrifyingly, and the screams of the crew echoed everywhere. A terrifying explosion suddenly tore through the starboard side of the flagship Seagull. The ship lurched violently, black smoke and fire billowed upwards. "Admiral, engine room destroyed, water flooding in. The ship can't hold." Another officer staggered up, his face covered in blood. Yamato turned to look out the window, seeing his beloved ship slowly listing.
He looked out at the sea, where other ships in the fleet were also sinking or burning fiercely, the fire reflecting on the water, turning the scene into a hell on earth. He turned back to look at the remaining soldiers on the command bridge, their
Eyes filled with fear, but still trying to look at him with loyalty. We did everything we could.
"The honor of the Imperial Navy will live on." His voice lowered, yet still full of authority. A final, devastating explosion erupted directly beneath him. The deck cracked open, metal fragments flew everywhere, a colossal black smoke column enveloped the entire ship. Admiral Yamato was thrown towards the railing. He tried to hold on, but couldn't. His eyes remained fixed on the sea, where his comrades' ships were slowly sinking into the ocean's darkness. A bitter smile appeared on his lips, as if accepting his fate. The Seagull slowly sank, taking Admiral Yamato and thousands of sailors with it. The sound of swirling water breaking metal mingled with distant explosions. The sea gradually returned to an eerie silence, leaving only debris and a large oil slick, like a shared tomb for the entire fleet and the tenacious admiral. Deep beneath the sea, amidst the wreckage of the battleship Seagull, Admiral Yamato felt his body slowly fading into nothingness. He closed his eyes, accepting his fate,